Hello, this is Parisa from SFiCE Foundation. Welcome to another episode of Cooking on a Budget Live. Today we have a very special guest, Rupert, from Healthy Eating Solutions. And what are you cooking for us today?
So today we are going to do a scrambled tofu. And on the side we're going to have tomatoes and avocado.
Lovely. And what are the benefits of eating tofu?
Oh, so it's a good source of protein, a good source of calcium, and in terms of the cost, it's a very cost-effective ingredient to use, and it takes flavour quite easily as well. So if you're not really good at cooking, it's something you can do quite quick and easy.
Okay, and so today, how much is it costing you, and how many people do you think can eat from this?
Yeah, so we priced it up earlier. So we priced it was about £4, and quite easily 4 people on a £4, so a pound per person.
Fantastic. All right then, take it away. Show us how to cook on a budget.
Okay. So today we're making scrambled tofu. So ideally, if you go to a Chinese supermarket, you'll get a better buy. This was £1.48, which is amazing in comparison to one bought at a Tesco or Sainsbury's, which is £2 to £3. So definitely go to a Chinese supermarket. You'll get a better buy. First things first. With the tofu, what you need to do is once you've opened it up, because it contains a lot of water, is to press that water out. So looking around in the kitchen to see if we've found, it just so happens we've got something of some weight here. So basically what we're going to do is take the tofu out for its packaging, like so. So if you've never seen tofu before, so that's what it looks like, a bit like sponge, and it really needs flavour to be added. But like I said, first things first, we're just going to press that water out. So taking the tofu out of its packaging, like so. So kitchen towel or some kitchen paper. I'm just going to place that on top. Like I said, something of some weight, and it just so happens I've got handy water thing. So we're just going to place that on top and then leave that for about 5 minutes. So if you come back in 5 minutes time, the water will be pressed out, and then we can begin with the making of this scrambled tofu. Okay. Yeah, so after 5 minutes we can take that off. So it doesn't have to be that, anything of some weight. Then take off your tissue, and as you can see, there is a lot of water. So ideally we could have left that a little bit longer, but that should be fine. And so now your tofu is ready for preparing. Because with the tofu, it is like a sponge, so you need to add that flavour. So the flavour we're going to add today, we're going to have some black pepper, we're going to have some onion, some turmeric to give it a bit of a yellow colour, so it represents a scrambled egg. If you like garlic, you could put garlic in there. If you like chilli, you could put chilli in there as well. So just add as much flavour as possible. So first things first, what we're going to do, we're going to fry the onion. So taking the onion and just really top and tail the onion, really. So we're going to chop the onion. Depends how you like onion. So I want to do it like in cubes. In terms of crying when you're chopping your onion, I don't really have a tip as such. And there's crazy things like putting a spoon in your mouth when you're chopping, but wearing goggles, I think wearing goggles would actually work. But you know, sometimes it's a case of just crying a little. You know, it's all right to cry every now and then. So we're just going to chop this onion, cut it up. So again, you can cut it how you want. So I'm going to do it into like little cubes. So basically, just making sure if you use a sharp knife, just making sure you keep your fingers well away from the knife. We don't want blood in our food as well. Who wants blood in your food? It's not very nice. So I've used quite a big onion actually, because I love onion, and onion is really good in terms of your gut health. It's very good for your gut health. So you cannot have enough onion. So just going to cut that up nice and steady like so, making sure I don't chop off my fingers. And then we're going to fry this onion. So in this container, this magic container, I've got some vegetable oil, and I'm using rapeseed oil. So rapeseed oil will be a good one to use. You can use sunflower oil. You could use olive oil, but olive oil will as a lower burn point. So as your everyday oil, rapeseed will be a good one. So a bit of oil. You can fry onion in water if you want to cut down on oil, but you don't really need a lot. So I'm going to say a tablespoon. So we'll start with a tablespoon. And then we're just going to put our onions in. So 1 whole onion into the frying pan, and we're going to fry the onions. So ideally you want to fry your onions until they become see-through, and what that's doing is releasing the flavours, sweet flavours as well. So make sure you fry them through. It just makes more flavour. If you want to then put in your seasoning, so what I'm going to do is put in a bit of black pepper. So a couple of turns of black pepper. And again, this is your personal taste. There's no point if you don't like black pepper, don't put black pepper in. But I love black pepper. You want to add a bit of flavour. So a bit of black pepper. You could use, if you want to reduce your salt intake, so lime, lemon would be a way of compensating for the use of salt. But we're going to put a pinch of salt in. So I've just got a bit of salt in this container. So I'm just roughly, I'm going to say half a teaspoon. So half a teaspoon of salt. Put that in there now as well. So that's about half a teaspoon. And the good thing is to taste as you go along. So that's going to fry nicely. So once the onion is fried, what we can do is then break down the tofu. So the tofu is still sitting here waiting for us. So just waiting for that to fry. Break down the tofu with the back of a fork and put it into the frying pan. So we're just going to fry this a bit longer. So we're just going to fry those for, I'm going to say about, say 5 minutes. You want to fry that for about 5 minutes. So it's looking good. So whilst that's frying, we can actually put the tofu in. It makes no difference. So what I'm going to do is just place the tofu in. So like I said, far cheaper to go to a Chinese, Asian supermarket. It's a lot more value for money rather than buying the leading brand tofu, which is already prepared. So you're paying that extra money for them preparing it. So put the tofu into your frying pan, and you can use whatever you like really, but basically all we're going to do is just break down tofu. I think you can see what I'm doing there. So just back of the fork and just break it down. So the tofu itself, you don't really need to, cook it long. And plus with tofu, you can also make it into a soup. You can add it to soup. You can stir fry it. So it's a really versatile, nutritious food ingredient. So a good source of protein, low in fat, good source of calcium. So yeah, so that's basically what we're looking for. So the tofu looking all broken down. So to give it the yellow appearance, as I mentioned before, we're going to put some turmeric in there. So turmeric again is a good product to be using. There is a lot of talk about it being a superfood. I don't really agree with the idea of superfoods. Mainly marketing people, they call things superfoods, but it's a good product to use. Right, so a bit of turmeric in there. So this is going to give it the yellow appearance like scrambled egg, and it looks more appetizing rather than eating white food. So this is going to be yellow, and then the senses will see the colours and it wants to eat that food. We'll take a tasting spoon and give it a taste. Yeah, we're going to put a bit more black pepper in. So chili would ideally, so I probably would have put chili in there, but a lesser eat would be the black pepper. And then just to give it a bit more colour, what I'm going to do, so you could put in a red pepper, but because what I want to be serving it with is some red tomatoes, we're going to give it a bit more colour. Remember I was talking about looking at the food, making sure the food looks good, then you're more likely to eat it. So let's have some sweet bell pepper. So just take out the seeds. You don't want to be eating the seeds. Get rid of those. And then just again, we're just going to slice that up nice and easy, like so. that. Excellent. And then just there. So with the tomatoes, you could, if you wanted to, you could fry the tomatoes if you wanted to. So we're gonna have these cold, I think. We're not gonna warm these up. And then also we're gonna serve that with avocado. Avocado, very good, a good choice of fats. So that'll be a good thing to have. And the tomatoes, very good for vitamin A, especially when it's cold or you're fighting a illness. Vitamin A is very good for fighting illness. So we're gonna have that. So this is gonna be a nice, healthy, balanced, it's a breakfast. I wanna say it's a breakfast more than anything, or lunch, or you could have it as a dinner. And that pretty much, that is it, really. So we can plate up and then give it a taste. So you could have them all, but let's be fancy today because we've got some guests from Preston. So I know people in Preston are very posh, so let's do a good presentation for people from Preston. And we're going to have the avocado. If a way to check if your avocado is ripe is if the top of the avocado, if you just press down, if it gives, it's ripe. For cutting an avocado, again, make sure you've got a sharp knife. And basically how I do it, it's in, and then just turn the avocado around. And that's it. Ideally you could take it out with a spoon, but let's just take it out with this knife, just save time. So onto our plate goes avocado, and then we're going to take scrambled tofu. I think it's looking quite good. And then just place that. And there we have scrambled tofu, avocado and plum tomatoes. Let's give it a taste.
Hello, so Rupert has been visiting the kitchen. He's made some scrambled tofu. I have my fork ready and he's on his way out here with a plate for me to taste it. Woo!
Well, there you go. What's that look like?
That looks so colourful, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, what do you think to that then? Give it a go.
Well, let's have a taste. So this is tofu, it looks exactly like scrambled egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely, thank you.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, see you later.